Basketball Score Table Basics. Learn how to complete the score sheet. Learn how to use the scoreboard. Become familiar with some hand signals. Become aware of some basic rules. First, let's take a look at the score sheet. This is the complete score sheet in use within the ACT. The top selection lists details of the game. There is a section for Team A and a section for Team B. There is a running score for both teams, a breakdown of the scores for each quarter, and a results section at the bottom of the page. In the top section, details of the two teams, the competition, round, date, time and venue, as well as the names of rostered officials will generally be pre-printed here. Details for Team A are provided for in the next section. Here, the players' names and numbers are recorded, as well as the number of fouls incurred throughout the game. At the top of this section, team timeouts and fouls are listed. At the bottom, space is provided for the coach and the assistant. Details for Team B mirror those for Team A. The running score starts at 1 and goes up to 160. Space is provided to enter the scorer's number for each point scored in a game. The scoring summary allows for a quarterly breakdown of scores for both teams, as well as a full-time total score for each side. In the results section, space is provided for final team scores, the winning team and signatures for the chairperson, scorer, timer, 24-second clock operator and both referees. In the case of a protest, space is provided for the team captains to sign. Now let's learn how to fill out the sheet. In this first sequence, number 45 for Team A scores 2 points. In the first available square in the left column for Team A, the scorer counts down 2 spaces and writes the player's number in that space before crossing a diagonal line through the corresponding score in the right-hand column. In the second sequence, number 8 for Team A scores 3 points. As with before, the scorer counts down 3 spaces and writes the player's number in that space and crosses out the corresponding score in the right-hand column. They then circle the player's number to indicate the score was made from outside the 3-point arc. Where a player is successful from the free throw line, the scorer will add the player's number for each successful point made from the free throw line. The scorer then places a dot in the right-hand column to indicate that the point was scored from the free throw line. When a foul is called by an official, they will blow their whistle and signal a foul by raising their hand in a closed fist. They will then move toward the scorer's table and indicate the player and team responsible for the foul, the type of foul and the resulting penalty. In this case, the foul is called on number 7 for Team B for pushing an opponent. The resulting penalty is a side ball for Team A. The scorer will first find the player on the score sheet and then marks a letter P for a personal foul, followed by the number of free throws awarded. Should the foul be other than a personal foul, such as a technical, unsportsmanlike or disqualifying foul, a letter T, U or D is used instead of the letter P. Once the foul against the individual player has been recorded, the scorer will then mark the next available team foul box for that quarter with a diagonal line. In this next instance, number 9 for Team B is called for a hands foul, and the resulting penalty is 2 free throws for Team A. As with before, the scorer will find the appropriate player and mark their next available foul box with the letter P. But in this case, we'll write the number 2 beside it to indicate that 2 free throws were awarded. When a team is granted a timeout, record the minute on the clock the timeout was called in the box next to the appropriate quarter. In this example, a timeout was called in the 6th minute of the first quarter. At the conclusion of each quarter, underline and circle the last score for both teams, like so. Then record the points scored that quarter in the appropriate scoring summary box at the bottom left-hand corner of the score sheet. Draw a line past any fouls committed in that quarter, as shown in this example, so that it can be determined in which quarter fouls occurred. Cross out any unused team fouls for the quarter. At halftime, no additional players can be added to the score sheet, so simply void any vacant space beneath the active players' names. At full-time, add up the scores in the scoring summary section of the sheet and enter the total for the final score box. Then transfer the scores into the appropriate final score boxes before writing down the name of the winning team in the box below. Sign the score sheet and ask other listed officials to do the same. The control box for the electronic scoreboard comprises three main sections: timeouts, fouls, scores, and the running clock. Outside of these three sections are buttons to undo mistakes and reset scores, as well as operate the siren when it is necessary to draw the attention of the refereeing official. First, ensure that any previous scores are reset. This can be accomplished by first ensuring the clock on-off toggle is in the off position, then press and hold the main reset undo button for 3 seconds. To apply time to the countdown clock, again ensure that the toggle is in the off position before pressing the time reset button. Each time you depress this button, the clock will adjust in 20-minute increments. Once the nearest 20-minute interval has been selected, the clock can then be adjusted in one interval by pressing the adjust time button. When the desired time is set, simply toggle the on-off switch to start the clock. To add points to a team on the electronic scoreboard, simply press the score button for the appropriate team for each point to be added, in this case, 2 points. If more points are accidentally added, gently press the undo/reset button to undo the last action on the scoreboard. This applies equally to fouls and timeouts should a mistake occur. To add a foul, repeat the above steps, but with the appropriate button in the foul section of the control box. The same goes for timeouts. To get the attention of game officials, press and hold the siren until the referees acknowledge your request. Teams will make requests for substitutions and timeouts through the bench. A request must be made to the referees by the bench before substitutions or timeouts can be allowed. To signal for a substitution, cross your arms like in this example. To signal for a timeout, make a T symbol using a flat palm index finger like so. Timeouts can generally be taken at any time. However, substitutions can only occur when there is a foul, and when the team with the ball requests a substitution be made. Be aware that there are some exceptions that can be found in the basketball rulebook. Substitutions cannot be called after a score. Now you know the basics to operating the score bench for basketball. If you are still uncertain about any aspect of performing duty, seek assistance from your team's coach or manager prior to the start of the game, or stadium officials during the game. Thanks for watching. Happy scoring.